Hello, hello, my friends. How are you? So good to see you. You hit your thumb with a hammer today, Jenny. Ouch. Hello, Gail. Hello, everyone coming in. Hello, Kimberly Brummett, Stacy Michelle, Bluegrass Meadows. I pretty much said hello to everyone else in chat, but hello to everyone else and those coming in. Hi, Sharon Marlowe. How are you? Oh, you saw the show last night? Thank you. Sharon, if you're in the bushes, welcome. Sharon said, great work last night, Jay. Thank you all. It was it was the first. We're going to do more. I think we had a fabulous panel. Hi, Rusty Pipes. It was an honor to meet Charles, a hero who kicked in a door and got saved 3 girls. Hi, Cecilia. How are you? Hi, YouTuber. Thank you for being here, everyone. Welcome in this Thanksgiving week. I hope you're all staying warm. Hit the thumbs up if you would. We have quite the information today. Hi, Falker's dad. How are you? All the way from the Briar. Thank you for being here. Hey, Andrea. Caroline Miller, always good to see you. Hello, hello, everyone. I'm going to start with our song from the beautiful Donna Whispering Winds, who is enjoying her honeymoon this week.
We gather here as a family, searching clues to find the missing kids around this world, searching far and wide, things that make us cry. Sometimes they are found safe, but many don't get out alive. We fight for justice, for the voiceless. We help one another look for evidence, turn it in and hope they listen to the clues we found, even if it is small. These children are blessings and didn't ask for this. But some aren't even given simple things like love, a little hug, I'm proud of you, just a compliment. Crime Time Buzz is always there looking for answers and help us find you out there. Are you hiding from someone that hurts you? Or did they remove you from this earth because they simply didn't care? Just so you know, America cares. We cry. You notice that you're missing from a dinner table, a holiday, another birthday come and gone. God is with you, my darling, we're trying to find you, searching every day, just so you can play another day. Don't give up on those that really care. You are precious and beautiful, smart and kind, and tomorrow we hope to find you. You are precious and beautiful, smart and kind, and tomorrow we hope to find you.
Welcome in, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sorry, the last couple of days I've been so busy getting ready for the show last night. And I hope you saw it. And if you didn't, it's over on Nick's channel. I'll be putting some pieces of it up on ours too. So thank you all for being here. Hello, Lisa King. I haven't said hello to you yet this morning. RKB, Mark, good to see you as always. Hi, everyone. Thank you. Hi, Susan Bezio, Sharon. Thank you. I'm glad to see you all here today, RKB, and everyone who is joining us today. We need to talk about some of the things going on. Hi, Renee and Show Poodles, with housing, right? Housing in Sumner County. I find it a little interesting that hi, Mary George, when we had a ransom demand and threats to Sebastian's life, whom we are here for today, and I will be putting up his FBI poster in a second. Nothing. We just started Texas Plain Jane. You just missed the intro song. Hi, Juicy Jules. I find it really interesting that we, during ransom, had a sheriff who was at an emergency meeting instead of dealing with the ransom, allegedly. I was there, so I'm just going to throw in the alleged. And was asking for a raise for himself and his senior staff. And if you need a raise, why in the world are you building an over $1 million home? And guess who his neighbors are? That's right. The step socks, the dirty socks, whatever you want to call it. They live 3 miles from him now. Very interesting information, and we're going to go over this. Oh, your prayer warrior. Hi, Renee Thomas. Hi, hon. Hi, Mrs. Nobody. Hello, hello. Well, if you were at our show yesterday, thank you so very much for the support. It was a pleasure to meet Julie and Charles. It's not going to be our last one. It is going to be our first one because there's so much more to cover. It was a really, really interesting conversation with Charles. He truly is a hero. He kicked the door in and save those girls. And the reason Nick wanted to bring him forward is to talk, hope and survival. Those girls were survivors. And over a decade, we don't give up hope. We don't know. Hi, Cinderella. We just don't know where the kids are if we don't know, right? So we got to keep the hope. Caroline says, Jay, you look beautiful last night. It was great to see you in person. Well, thank you so much, Caroline Miller. You all are so sweet. I truly appreciate your compliments. Hi, Maria. Hello, everyone. Yeah, it's very interesting, Sissy Lynn. So we all, thank you, Jenny Machete. Jenny says, if you're in the bushes, Jay is adorable. You're very sweet. It was a great, hi, Berry Happy. It was just a lot of fun. Just to bring someone, a hero, who didn't turn away because it was his neighbor. And I think that's where I'm going to segue us into Sebastian Rogers right now. We have a lot of people in the community who are afraid to speak up. People we know watched footage. People we know saw the sedan. People we know saw the flashlights get out. People we know saw curious things happening at the Texas Roadhouse, in my opinion. Cecilia said, Charles said, you're beautiful. Oh, I know. He was a lot of fun. We're probably going to meet up. We're probably going to meet up at CrimeCon, and I'm going to get to meet Julie Grant. We're going to meet in person, and she's going to introduce me to Vinny as well. So it was a lot of fun. Segueing into Sebastian, my friends, it's very interesting what's happening here. So I think we need to talk about it. Sebastian Rogers went missing February 25th, 2024. And I say February 25th because that is the last day the public saw him. That is the last day since the public saw him leaving the Texas Roadhouse. The next morning, his mother reported him missing. And one of the things I want to bring up about our show last night is one of our victims never got to see her mother fighting for her. Never saw them searching with Gina and Amanda's families. Never saw them fighting for her. And it devastated her because the other two said that was their lifeline, knowing they were out there. They were able to see them and hang on to that, see what was changing with them and hang on to it. Well, if Sebastian Rogers is watching, he is seeing his dad fight every day for him. And he is not hearing mom or seeing mom. He is like Michelle Knight. Where's my mom? When Michelle was rescued, she did not want to see her mother because she didn't see her mother fighting for her. She went and moved in with one of the other victims' families. So let's remember, be a lifeline, KP. Get out there if your son's watching, because how are you going to explain why you're not? And that goes for Summer Wells, too. She's the forgotten victim. She has no voice except for content creators. Her parents haven't called law enforcement on the 4-year anniversary. I think Don Wells said it's been over a year since they've spoken to him. Well, place a call. That's what needs to be done. You call, you use your voice, you fight for your child. So it's all very, very sad. And Michelle Knight is doing well now. All the girls are doing well and thriving. But it was a huge trauma for her. Hi, Elizabeth and Karen, and like the motor oil and Crystal Pistol and everyone who's coming in. I always try and say hello to whomever I can. Hey, Cat Lady, thank you for sharing. Hey, Narita, everyone in the house. So we are here for Sebastian Rogers. He is still not home. There have been no press conferences since April 2nd of 2024. The sheriff is running against himself in his own campaign for sheriff, holding spaghetti dinners, posting on social media all the criminals they're trying to catch, but nothing about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And I ask why. Well, I'm going to share with you something. By the way, please circulate this flyer. Seth wants the FBI flyer circulated, not Sumner County's. Please circulate it. Get it out there. We need to remind people this young man is not home yet. Do you know December 7th is his birthday? It's coming up. He will be 17. It's just heartbreaking to see people go and live their lives like their child isn't missing. Let me share with you. So when we were all worrying about the ransom, Mr. Craddock was having a budget meeting, emergency one, saying he needed a raise for himself and his senior staff. Now, I wonder why that would be prevalent in his mind instead of a child whose life might have been in danger, in my opinion. Hi, Andrea. It's heartbreaking, isn't it? Hey, Show Poodles. Hey, Berry Happy. Yeah, isn't it coincidental? His new home is 3 miles away. So new home, big money. Hard to find that he built a home on it, but guess what? I found it. He bought property first, and we are going to move on right now so I can show you. That's the FBI flyer. First of all, meet his new neighbors. I've put the mean face over them because I don't want to show them. You can see by the tooth who it is. It's the Step Socks living 3 miles from him now. And we all know that they live in a very nice subdivision built by second generation homes, Danny Guy. I've been trying to find the builder of Craddock's home, and I will continue to do research now that I've got the documentary behind me for a couple of days. And guess what? He's living right out near him. They have a very nice home. He has a home over $1 million. Let me show you. It is just so upsetting. It's beyond. He should be, I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to come back to the video. Here is, oops, sorry. Let me cover that. Hold on. I got to take that out. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Sorry, y'all. I don't ever want to dox anyone, even if, we just don't want to. Okay. Let me get you back here. And I'm also going to be researching what happened in the last couple of days with Summer. And I will be on later tonight, maybe Summer and Sebastian, or both, or Summer and Sebastian. So if you look, we know, and I didn't put down the Stinky Socks' address, but we know they live on Enoch Way off of Hartsville Pike. Craddock's new home with his wife, there's 2 residents, it says, is off of Berry Lane, off of Hartsville Pike. Look how close they live to each other. 3.5 miles away. Gallatin is part of Sumner County, so he is still in Sumner County. He's the sheriff of Sumner County, and he's still living within the county. So but he's in a very nice home. Let me go ahead and show you how this went down. Okay. So this is the property that Mr. Craddock purchased in 2020 it was up for $167,000, $167,500. The realtor, it has a realtor listed, but it also has an auction company listed. Now, the sheriff's office in Sumner County is in charge of the properties that are auctioned and foreclosed. A creator many months ago did a search on that and found out many of the auction properties went to county employees. That person also said many of the auction dates had been changed last minute. And apparently this person said they didn't have to post the changes. Now, I had never heard of that. I thought you had to post the changes, but I find it very interesting that an auction company was listed as well. Did he buy it under auction? Did he get it first because a date was changed allegedly? And therefore, oops, in we go because no one else knows the new date, and I'm going to pick up this property. Also, allegedly, properties being bought in others' names and then transferred over to county employees, this one creator said. Gail wants to know, would Craddock look harder if it was his child that was missing? In my opinion, he needs to do far better for Sebastian. In my opinion, Gail, if his child was missing, there wouldn't be spaghetti dinners and campaigns. There would be huge searching until the child was found. My opinion. Same with the county commissioners who aren't speaking up. They'll say, oh, we got to take it out of Sumner County if you want it solved. You take it out of Sumner County. You're sitting in an elected seat. If it were your child and you knew it had to go out of Sumner County to be solved, I bet you'd already have it out of Sumner County. Well, guess what? Sebastian Rogers deserves the same. Yes, it's disgusting. And it's going to get even worse when I show you this. So in 2020, he bought this property. Now, $167,500. Okay, putting the auction aside, certainly maybe a sheriff could afford that on his salary. That's not unreasonable. It's 15 acres of land in Gallatin. Here's another picture of it for you. And I've got some details on it for you too. I find it very interesting that he's just become so affluent recently. I mean, that's quite the influence because guess what, my friends? He bought the property for $167,500 in 2020, but in 2024, he built $1 million plus home on it. Did Danny Guy build that? I don't know. Who built that home? I can't find the builder. My researchers in the chat, if you want to email me privately, I'll give you the address. Or all you have to do is look up Bledsoe Community, because that's the name of his community, and try and find the builder for me. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like Nick posted on X the other day after that whole White House thing. We've known, hi Bliss, we've known the White House is aware of the case. They are aware. They are not involved right now, but they are aware. We know lots of big agencies are aware of the generational corruption. It's been brought to me. Yep, the $1 million sheriff and Chris Proudfoot's $1 million question. Raymond brought that connection in the chat. Do they connect? Is that the $1 million question? Why was Kathy Bowersock standing in a kitchen hours after, not even hours, after her step-grandson was missing, asking what jewelry she's going to get from Littlefoot, her son? Thank you, Bear Honey. Thank you so much. I have the best researchers. Danny Guy's company, I wonder, we're going to find that out. Caroline says it's a damn monopoly. It's yes, I was just going to make that connection. Show Poodles. Show Poodles, if you're in the bushes, says Bledsoe Community. That was the name of the home school they wanted to send Sebastian to. Yes, it was. And it's also, yes, Bledsoe Academy. That was the name of the school that KP and CP recommended to Seth. I think it was October, November. I have the emails. And of 2023, and Seth said, absolutely not, because that is a school of abuse. There's been deaths, there are charges filed against the school. Well, my gosh, KP, did you not do your research, or was that the quality you were looking for your son? If you protect him like you protect that easement and your property, my friend, you would have known that wasn't a school for your child. So Seth found some options that were good for Sebastian. Seth would have moved anywhere with him. He was planning on taking him in May. Hi, Frank. Hi, Loose Cannon. If I'm not greeting you personally, I'm not looking right at the chat right now. Hi, Susan. Hey, Melissa French. So please don't take it that I don't love you and am not grateful you're here, because I am. You all mean the absolute world to me. Yes, Frank. Usually they post permits and they post dates. And usually, if a date is changed, it needs to be posted. But from what I've heard from this one creator, that wasn't happening. Dates were being changed, properties picked up and transferred over allegedly to people of interest. So yes, instead of the ransom, he was fighting for his raise. It kind of makes sense to me a little bit now. You're building $1 million home. You can't have that raise money go away for a year. Well, they distribute it across all employees in the county. You want yours. The $1 million question and $1 million sheriff and $1 million property. Hi, Loose Cannon. Good to see you. Hi, Kimberly. It's disgusting. So he has 15 private acres, mostly pasture with some trees. And I'm going to show you where it tells us how that it has been developed now and the price. Hi, Pebbles. Good to see you. Pebbles, were you in there modding yesterday? Are you the Pebbles who was modding? Because if so, thank you so much for doing that last night. 15 private acres, mostly pastures with some trees. He has his own creek running through his property. City water and gas available. Septic approved. Lot number 2 on attached plat. Additional land available. Well, that was in April of 2020, April 27th, it was listed. He purchased it for $167,050. And I'm going to show you what the going rate for acreage was in 2020. 15 and a half acres, my friends, 3.5 miles from the Dirty Socks. Absolutely shocking to me. I mean, I can't even believe it. I actually just talked to a neighbor who her husband was law enforcement before passing away. And we were talking about that. And she says, that's quite a home. That's quite an expensive house for a sheriff. I said, absolutely it is. Absolutely. Hey, Peggy. Yeah, it's obvious. It's just unbelievable. Where's my 15 acres? Right? Okay. This is where you're going to see now the value of it. It is now $1,049.11 is the estimated value, no longer $167,500. Hi, Brenda Marshall. It's good to see you too. I'm so glad you enjoy the channel. Thank you. Price per square foot, $254. Now it says there's no information on the occupancy, but I found it. So it is on Berry Lane in Gallatin. I did take the house number out. The home that he built is 4,125 square feet. I'll repeat that. 4,125 square feet. Now the property value is $1,049,011. The medium home value in that neighborhood is $843. $843,249. The medium home in Gallatin is $843,750. So even the sheriff can afford far more than the average person who lives in Gallatin. The average medium home value, and I know medium and average are a little bit different, but it's a good way for me to put it forth. For most of Gallatin, the average is $843,249. That's the medium. But now we have a sheriff who his property is 200 and some thousand more than that. How is he affording a bigger home, more property, more upgrades than the medium and the average person in Gallatin? I ask you, when he was in fighting for a raise, when a child missing in his town, there was a ransom he was ignoring. It's disgusting, in my opinion. I don't know, but I will look up his salary. For some reason, I don't want to throw it out there because it's just popping in my head. Good question. What does the wife do? We've got locals in our chat. Email me if you know what she does for a living. They do have 3 kids, so I'm wondering if she's a stay-at-home mom or if she works. I don't know. But that's a good question, and we'll start looking. But he needed a raise, remember? And he was in the midst of building this house, or when he asked for that raise, allegedly. Okay. So, oops, sorry, guys. Let me escape this for a second because there's some information on here that I want to show you, but it's very small. So we're going to go through it. So, there we go. I'm going to show you this. It's Eric M. Craddock. He also goes by Eric C. Craddock. Okay. Just so you knew that it was him. Okay. He's in his 30s, Gallatin, and that is who matches this property. And we're going to talk about it. Berry Lane is an agricultural land located in the zip code of 37066 area of Gallatin, Tennessee. It's part of Sumner County and identified by assessor's parcel number APN 127-036.03. It was built in 2024. The home is approximately a year old, which is 98% newer than the zip code average. So not only he's got a newer home than the average people do there, and his is more than the average person in Gallatin. Physical details for this property are not available in public records. Shocker. Okay. Tried to not have his name connected, but we found it. Let me move this. Let me get, there we go. Okay. He remodeled it in 2024. Really, he built it because what was on the property was the land. 4,125 square feet. His property is 15 and a half acres, 679,536 square feet, $254 per square foot, which I think I looked that up, and they kind of matched the going rate in 2024 for that. Lot size, now get this one. This is unbelievable. $2 a square foot. Now I looked it up. In 2020, when he purchased the property, an acre in Gallatin in the area was going for about 39,000 plus. Now, if you take, I did the calculation, so hold tight, don't go anywhere. I am going to show it to you. I just lost where I am. There we go. Okay, so he has a creek, got his stuff, built a 4,125 square foot home. He's in his 30s. I'm just letting you know, just built $1 million home. He's a sheriff and he's in his 30s. Lot size area, $2 per square foot. Built it in 2024. He put one building. So that one building is for over 4,500 square feet or 4,100 square feet. 16 acres is what they have here. His ground floor is 2,704 square feet. Air conditioning is a split system. Okay, this is what I want to share with you right here. So $2 is what an acre, or $2 a square foot. Right here, let me make sure I've got you with me because I've been flipping pages. Okay, good. Right here, my friends, it says for rural or agricultural land, the average price per acre, and I had Googled in 2020 right here because that's when he purchased it, as noted by Easy Home Search, was about $39,105. So he bought 15. Now here it says 16. I did it for 15. If he had purchased 15 acres at the going rate of $39,105, which was what the going rate was in 2020, he would have paid $586,575 approximately for those acreage. He did not. He paid about $167,000. Did he get it in the auction? Were other people there for the auction? Were private citizens there? Did they know about it? But he got about a $420,000 discount on that land than the going rate in 2020. Before we go on, I would like to play something for you. I know we've played it before. It's my video here. If you haven't seen the whole thing, do. Oh, come on, guys. Hold on one second. Let me escape it. I'm going to bring it up for you. Hold on. Okay. The first thing I want, oh, sorry, guys, not sharing with you. Hold on. Let me get it shared with you. The first thing I want to show you is when this video I'm about to share with you was posted, and I know we've gone over it, but it's important. Sebastian isn't found yet, and this plays into it, in my opinion. And he talks about the money laundering through the housing industry. So there was a whistleblower, and well, let's start here. This is a video about corruption in Tennessee at a local level. And one of the people putting this out is Sean Taylor. He was a sheriff in Millersville. If you follow the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case, a missing autistic teen out of Sumner County and a possible sighting in Millersville, this ties into it. What ties into it? Corruption in Tennessee at a local level. They have not escalated the case to the FBI for foul play, nor the marshals. And once Sebastian's 18, the marshals won't take it. Sumner County is trying to run the clock out, in my opinion. This is credit to Psalms 123, I believe, but we're watching it on my video. Please pay attention to what is being said here, even if you've watched it before, because what I'm showing you, hi, Cinderella, what I'm showing you right now is his $1 million home near the dirty socks, the step-grandparents, a stepfather who's talking about the $1 million question, right? Oh, I know it. I know it, Bear Honey. If you want to email me, I can send you her name. Right, Beth. Beth is saying in the chat, she looked it up, a sheriff makes $98K a year. But is that in Sumner County, Beth? We got to find out what they're making in Sumner County. So if that's in Sumner County, will you put a yes in here, or was that a general, what does a sheriff make? They should be ashamed of themselves, Maria. I agree. Hey, Wild Angel Roxy, how you doing? Susan, Brenda Sue, everyone coming in, me and you, it's good to have you back in. Daffy Dog, Bo, everyone in the house, I am just so thrilled to have you with me. We are going to be watching this again. It's important, and it ties right into what we're talking about with the housing of the sheriff. Pebbles says, anyone who has information, please send it to the FBI. We need Sebastian home for his 17th birthday. I might actually forward this video. I will forward this video on to the FBI. I think it's time they know what's happening. Well, they do know. They've been watching. So please listen to this. I am going to watch it with you, and then we're going to talk about it. Remember that? A sighting in Millersville? I didn't either. Isn't that interesting? Well, here's a Millersville police officer talking about it. A possible sighting, payoffs, which means people should be stepping in, right? Shouldn't need to be asked at that point, in my opinion. But let's learn what's happening. Oh boy. Okay. This is credit to News Channel 5 Investigates and Psalms 3713 on YouTube. Okay. And Nicey Marie, who was kind enough to let me know. Okay. So y'all, we are going to listen to this. I will be stopping it throughout for fair use. I think I have my fair use banner up. Do I? Let me make sure I have my fair use banner up here. Sorry, you all. Here we go. Let me edit it.
How cool is this candle? Style it how you want.
Oh my goodness.
Add the
Sorry,
wicks and light your unique.
News Channel 5 Investigates. I'll give that. So I will be stopping it, and we need to stop it anyway because the things being said there, it's just mind-blowing. Okay. And I'm here for you. So I'll be coming back to the chat, and we'll be talking about things because I know this group, you're going to want to talk. Hi, Ginger Snap. Hello, everyone. IML, Maria, everyone coming in. Me and you's bouncing around. Kiki, Peggy, Joanne, Connie, everyone here. Mama, Charlene, Nicey, Teresa, Valley Girl, all of you in here. And if I have not, hi, Tracy, if I have not personally welcomed you, welcome to you all. Whispering, thank you so much, says, hi, Crime Time Buzz family. Hit that thumbs up, share, subscribe, and join. Thank you, Teach, for all you do. You are very welcome, and back at you, my friend. I am going to end our video or our live today with the song written for our channel by Whispering Winds, who's in the house tonight, my mod.
Right,
hi,
guys,
Houston.
I'm over here blabbing.
I love her, not fighter. Okay,
Right to
without further ado, I will begin this. I will mute myself and be coming back in and out probably every 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes. Okay, just depends where the right place is.
Our coverage of the breaking news, the TBI raid on the Millersville Police Department continues.
TBI descended upon the Millersville Police Department, as well as the home of that department's conspiracy-minded
Just so you know, that's a reporter who loves to put the Sumner County spin on it for them, allegedly, in my opinion. We have another one who does that, and we know who it is. Oh, thank you. I will put it up right now. Thank you for the reminder. Let me put my fair use up. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all. You always have my back.
conspiracy-minded Assistant Chief Sean Taylor.
Our chief investigative reporter, Phil Williams is leading this investigation for us.
Meanwhile, online, the reaction from Sean Taylor's camp was predictable.
Friends, I just did a live podcast with 16 million people. Hi, I'm Craig Sawyer, founder of Veterans for Child Rescue. We're a nonprofit organization chartered to expose and combat child trafficking in the United States.
He's a hero in every sense of the word. Craig Sawman Sawyer, a 52-year-old highly decorated veteran, once a Marine sniper and a member of Navy SEAL Team 6.
Friends, I just did a live podcast with 16 million people exposing how Tennessee Bureau of Investigations just raided the chief of Millersville Police Department, raided his home and raided the police department.
Here's everything you need to know to remove neck hump from home. If you're a side sleeper, when you sleep on your side, your head can sink too low or prop too high. For every degree your neck bends laterally, additional rotational force builds up in your cervical discs. It's like your spine is being bent by the weight of...
As the conspiracy theorist at the center of that botched child predator sting blamed me for that TBI raid, which he claimed is designed to cover up for child sex trafficking in Tennessee.
The locals there who have been victims of organized crime exposed to us that, Phil Williams is a cover-up man, that the TBI does have a percentage of their bureau that's corrupted.
Designed to cover up for child sex trafficking in Tennessee. Which he claimed is designed to cover up for child sex trafficking in Tennessee.
The locals there who have been victims of organized crime exposed to us that, Phil Williams is a cover-up man, that the TBI does have a percentage of their bureau that's corrupted. The TBI does have a percentage of their bureau that's corrupted.
So real quick, you heard they raided the Miller's chief of police as a cover-up for child teeing. Okay? Unbelievable. I'm going to keep going.
The TBI does have a percentage of their bureau that's corrupted.
Hello, everyone. I'm Assistant Chief Sean Taylor with the Millersville Police Department in Middle Tennessee. Many of you may have seen my video last week regarding the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation raiding our police department and my personal residence. They came and they seized evidence regarding corruption that we had locally that tied into corruption nationally, and they took all of our files. so that we are unable to complete these cases.
Now I ask you, if there's corruption going on in Sumner County, why in the world would they want to take the files and not have this exposed? My answer, my opinion, my theory, because this is for entertainment purposes only, not to be taken as fact when we're speculating. We are going off things in the public media and making our own opinions, theories, speculations. My opinion is they didn't want the corruption stopped. Yes, his house was shot up too. That's coming. And he was hit. Someone tried to hit him head on when he was driving, and it was one of the people he was trying to expose. And so TBI raided the offices and I believe his home. And when they mention the person who is helping, that is the news media. When they said they mentioned his name, so they have a news anchor who comes out now and is calling Sean Taylor conspiracy minded because he found something out.
The cases that we've been working on affect every American. They affect us in the mortgages, fraudulent mortgages, human trafficking, narcotics trafficking, and many other crimes. We have crisscrossed the United States talking to state attorney generals, senators, congresspeople, and numerous law enforcement officials throughout the United States.
I don't know what the housing industry, my friends.
We've identified a major corruption that's transnational. It involves the BRICS nations and China and investment companies and fraudulent mortgages on homes here in the United States in very key counties and key states.
Fraudulent mortgages? Is there anyone in this case who has anything to do with the housing industry? Let me think. Maybe a couple? No one's being accused, just making some theories, thoughts.
Goes into the election integrity and fraud, and is creating a geopolitical key counties and key states. It goes into the election integrity and fraud, and is creating a geopolitical shift within our political system. This is a multifaceted attack from a foreign adversary who is paying off our local municipal, county, state, and federal politicians to keep from coming to light. We are moving forward with this case in other states and other arenas, even though they have taken our files and our information.
And that concerns me because he says they're moving forward in other states. Did they scare him off in Tennessee, right? And it's in he says the political scene, the officials that are elected. Well, we know people who are campaigning right now, some against themselves, wearing their own names on their shirts and not Sebastian's. And it goes deep. It goes transnational. People are coming into counties and paying off the officials. We know that the DA is no longer the DA. He got out after 40 years, gave 3 weeks notice. Was he wanting out of the hot kitchen? Was it getting a little too hot, allegedly? But this is serious, that they would go so far as to do a raid and take the files that prove the corruption in Tennessee. Now they're taking it to other states, but what about Tennessee? What about Tennessee? Raymond says, Sebastian and Summer strong. We won't give up. No, we won't, Raymond. And thank you for your 8 months of support. We did do a members live Saturday. If you missed it, go watch it. We are going to do a holiday party December 23rd for absolutely everyone. I need to put out this week about we're going to do an ugly sweater contest with a prize. I'll announce it on the 23rd. We're going to do trivia. I know someone's already donated $20 gift card, virtual card. So I will put out a post for the 23rd. If you're in the bushes, you're welcome. If you're a subscriber, you're welcome. If you're not, you're welcome. I want a place where everyone can be, because it's a hard time to be alone. So look for my post on our December 23rd holiday party. Someone stated that, oh, interesting, Texas Plain Jane. In the comments, and this is in my opinion, in her opinion, Texas Plain Jane has said someone stated Craddock's wife is allegedly a nurse, and that is one way we could allegedly get meds for Sebastian, in my opinion. That's a great thought. Brenda Sue has premonitions, some she likes and some she doesn't. Our government as a whole, CC saying, are the #1 traffickers. It allegedly, in my opinion, it seems like it. They're the higher ups. And sometimes that's why certain children we're not finding. But we're not giving up because we will expose them. Let's keep going, my friends.
This is very important to us. When I say us, I mean we the people. I'm retired Assistant Chief Sean Taylor of the Millersville Police Department. Many of you may remember the video I did back in September after the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation conducted a raid on my home and on our police department, seizing the files that had to do with corruption not only locally, but throughout the United States and transnationally. Just so people have a backstory on some of the things that have happened. My home was shot up while my family was present and I was present. My home was shot up while my family was present and I was present.
Hi, Lucky.
And people didn't like us telling the truth, and we have bullet holes for telling the truth. That the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation did not investigate.
TBI does have a percentage of their bureau that's corrupted.
I almost passed out from a mold reaction in my own basement. My hospital grade HEPA filter was running right.
That the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation did not investigate, and then decided to serve a search warrant on us because they didn't like what we were investigating.
They didn't investigate. Does that ring any bells to you? They didn't investigate. Hey, Governor, how are you? They didn't investigate. Does that sound familiar? They went and listened to what they did to his home while he and his family were in there. Why? Because they were trying to expose crime of child teeing, among other things. You're welcome, Gypsy Girl. Actually, and I want to give credit again to Nicey because she brought it to me. Nicey Marie. These aren't being investigated. Allegedly, the right people.
Have a percentage of their.
May have seen my video last week regarding the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation raiding our police department and my personal residence. They came and they seized evidence regarding corruption that we had locally that tied into corruption nationally, and they took all of our files so that we are unable to complete these cases. The cases that we've been working on affect every American. It's very interesting by one of on us because they didn't like what we were investigating. The bullets that ripped through our life when we started talking about the corruption, started talking about the dirty politicians, the dirty judges, and the dirty DAs. Previous to that, I was involved in a car crash where I was hit head on by individuals who had already threatened my life. Currently, I've been told that there is a civil suit that's been filed against me and my chief by one of the individuals who we're investigating. Because the TBI leaked information to this individual. The
TBI does have a percentage of their bureau that's corrupted.
The TBI seemed to have leaked information to the news reporter, Phil Williams of New Channel 5.
Our chief investigative reporter, Phil Williams is leading this investigation for us.
The TBI seemed to have leaked information to the news reporter, Phil Williams of New Channel 5, regarding a letter that a state representative had wrote as well. It's very interesting to have the full weight of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation coming down on myself and my agency.
TBI does have a percentage of their bureau that's corrupted.
Hi, I'm Craig Sawyer, founder of Veterans for Child Rescue. We're a nonprofit organization chartered to expose and combat child trafficking in the United States. And we ran a joint sting operation with Millersville Police Department 3 months ago, and we got 1 arrest and 70 warrants. And 70 warrants on other vile and aggressive child predators there. And immediately there was an outlash, a wild reaction by a reporter there.
Our chief investigative reporter, Phil Williams.
There was an outlash, a wild reaction by a reporter there, seemed bent on covering it up and halting the arrests. From my perspective, I'm just a veteran that wants people to stop harming and selling children. And when I see this wild overreaction that seems to be defending and protecting the corruption there, it's very concerning to me. And so when I saw a reporter going after Assistant Chief Taylor and then the Millersville Police Department, and then eventually calling in favors from a state law enforcement agency that came in and seized the evidence.
And all of the evidence regarding these cases was seized by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and this district attorney.
We were interviewed.
Okay, hello. So, my friends, that is going on in Sumner County, and someone was going after the corruption, and you see what happens. In my opinion, it is not a safe place unless you turn your head and look away. That is not they did raid Sumner County. Oh, their office. Yeah. Let's go ahead and raid their office and get the files, right? Allegedly. It's just unbelievable what they are doing out there, in my opinion. People are bringing it forward. It is tied through the housing industry, money laundering through the housing industry, allegedly, according to them. And also, excuse me, let me turn my phone off. I apologize. And also child trafficking and drug trafficking. I know it is, Cat Lady. I just didn't want to out you. I wasn't sure if you wanted everyone else to know it was Robin, but I know it's you, my love. So it is, and he says in the beginning of the video, this is tied to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. He tells us that February of 2025, a year after Sebastian goes missing, is when the raid occurred. he was exposing and connecting it to Sebastian and that Millersville sighting, which I believe is the Motel 6. I'm not sure. But, and then that ties us all back to, remember the red Camaro, all of that stuff. The red Camaro that moves between Tennessee and Kentucky. Allegedly, in my opinion, but we are aware of that. This is serious, it's deep, and that is why no one wants to mention, in my opinion, Sebastian's name. We're going to share this chat tab right here. So we're talking, the reason I'm bringing that up is we have a sheriff who just built $1 million. Can you hear me, all? Can you hear me? It just told me I lost my sound. Let me know if you can hear me. It just told me I lost my sound, but I want to make sure you can hear me. So just the whole thing is just, and that could be it. I know that he had a family member pass away, and I have that for another one, another live. There was a family member that passed away too, but come on, this is ridiculous. And it's coming through the housing industry. They have a lot going on here. I did just pull up a general Google search tells us, and this is general, the salary for Sumner County Sheriff in Tennessee is an average about $41,535 per year, according to one source. Other positions within Sumner County Sheriff's Office have different salary ranges, with a deputy sheriff earning an estimated. Now, why would the deputy sheriff earn more than the regular sheriff? $63K, correctional officer $48K to $66, sheriff of Tennessee $41,535. That's estimated from a job posting they pulled. Still, $1 million home. And Chris Proudfoot says that's the $1 million question. The $1 million question. Are they connected? Why was Kathy Bowersox worrying about what money she was going to receive? Why was Kathy Bowersox worrying about what jewelry she was going to receive after an hour or two after Sebastian went missing? Standing in the kitchen, instead of crying, where could he be? Instead of looking, instead of helping, standing in the kitchen, wondering what jewelry was going to be gifted to her from her son, Littlefoot. Now, remember, Sebastian went missing after Christmas, so she wasn't creating her Christmas list. Why would that be what's on her mind right after a child goes missing? Why did she ask her son what jewelry she was going to get, allegedly? And why would she get up from Gallatin, allegedly around 5 a.m., to be outside Warsham's at around 5:30 to 5:58 a.m.? 6 trail cameras were there. People reported it to law enforcement, more than one local, saying they saw her there. And we heard that on one of the PI audios, letting the one I played for you of Sonny Weatherford, where he was the PI told Sonny about it. And Sonny said he wasn't aware of that at the time, but that she was there. But the PI also said, someone came up to her in person and reported that they saw her outside Warsham's that morning. Then she received an email, which she believed was from a different person, because it was a different recounting of what they saw on the streets that early before Sebastian was ever reported missing. Now, what step grandma would drive about 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes at 5 a.m. to sit outside a storage unit in a market instead of just going the extra mile to your son's home? Why would you stop and wait there? Well, let me show you why I think she stopped and waited. And I've showed you all this before, and I'm just going to pull up maps real quick and show it to you again. My theory is sorry, y'all. I just got myself out of maps. I don't know why I did that. Hold on. Let me pull that up again. Here, I've got it there for you. Okay, good. Let me find where we are. Sorry about that. So my theory is KP, before Sebastian was reported missing, remember she said she went right to the high school to search. Okay, so you come the neighborhood's over here. Came down Long Hollow Pike, went into Beach High School. Well, she said she searched around here. That was her story for over a year. She went right to the high school to search. Well, we all know a high school has a lot of cameras. So if you weren't caught on camera, you might need to allegedly change that a little bit. So on her Dateline Digital interview over a year later, she said, she didn't say I went up to the high school to search. She said, as soon as I got to the high school, I was told to turn around because law enforcement was on their way. Instead of turning this way and going home, what an easy excuse as to why cameras may have caught you just driving through here, going out the back way, and boom, look where you end up. Allegedly where Mama Socks was waiting. So think about that. That was around 6:05 a.m. She claimed she jumped in the car. She went up to the high school. So when dispatch came on about 6:33, 6-ish, what went on for 30 minutes over here? Well, what we know is a cadaver dog hit. We have eyewitnesses of a cadaver dog hitting numerous times on unit number 10. We have photos of Grandma Step Socks at a storage unit with her Christmas items. A mattress pad was found in this area with with urine and other fluids on it that was turned over and now disappeared. Photos, Katie's senior photos, that was all found. What was going on over here that day? But guess what? Law enforcement, even though this area was in their 4.5-mile big, huge search, they never went over to Warsham's to get the footage. I had a mod at the time who was in town for a vigil who stopped by. Warsham said they did not come and get the footage in time. Well, guess what? You've been in there over 200 years as a part of the community. You know a boy's missing a mile from your home. I bet you looked at that footage, or you should have as a citizen. Everyone was being asked to check their footage. What did Warsham see? What did Warsham's daughter see, who lives in a home with cameras that face the establishments? I do not believe, in my opinion, that they didn't look at their own footage. Everyone was asked to look at their footage. And why didn't Sumner County get there? It's right in their radius, their big search. All those agencies, and no one went and got that footage. Well, let's look at something else. If I take you, let me show you something else. By the way, they had, hold on. they had license plate readers, if you'll recall. And Hendersonville was one of those who piloted the programs of educating Sumner County and other counties on how to use the license plate reader. What's interesting is Chris Proudfoot said the license plate readers haven't been working for years, but I don't know if they're working now. I find that interesting. Oh, Bliss, I'd love to see that. Let me put your comment up there. I find that really interesting that sorry, I lost my train of thought. I forgot what I was saying. But I don't know, you all. It just doesn't make sense. So if the license plate readers, how did he know they hadn't been working for years but hasn't kept up on that? If you're the kind of techie person who keeps up on that stuff, you don't just keep up on it for the time of a disappearance. You're knowing that all the time. But Sumner County is now posting how the license plate readers help them find this crime and that crime. I saw it the other day. So they're up and running. But here's what's so interesting. And before we get to the cameras that were on the road that night by establishments that the sedan would have to pass by, Bliss Blessing says not just any mattress pad, though, one that is made to be used with autistic children by the label that was posted. I might still have that label with the company name on it. Bless, I'd love to see that. crimetimebuzz@gmail.com if you would find it and would be willing. Can you hear me now, friends? Can you hear me now? Okay, good, 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 good. Let me share the tab now. Sorry about that. When I kicked myself out. So let me go back to what I was talking about. I totally apologize. Let me go back to the Google Maps here. You're not seeing the Google Maps either. Hold on. Let me share that. Okay. Did you all hear me? Did you all hear me when I was going over Katie's route into the high school? I'll do it again. I'll just go ahead and do this again. So, and it ties into the license plate readers because Chris Proudfoot knew that the license plate readers weren't working in the area the night Sebastian went missing. He didn't know now if they were up and running when he made that statement. He goes, but I don't know about now. I find it interesting that he would keep track on the night thank you, Bliss. Thank you so much. Bliss says she found the name and she's going to email me the mattress tag. I find it very interesting that he knew that about the license plate readers. And now the sheriff's office is talking about on their posts how the license plate readers are helping them find individuals, criminals. Very interesting. You all can hear me now, though, right? Someone just said black screen, no sound. Do you see the maps? With KP working for Brinks, would she know about the traffic cameras? You know, I don't know because the traffic cameras are through the city and the counties. Thank you all. Through the cities and the counties. And what's important is, remember, first day they were looking at footage. County commissioner says there's a sedan. It pulls up. What she said is it pulled up, went up Kellen a little bit before 3, turned around before it got to Devon, came down, and around Cece's house, let a couple people out with flashlights, proceeded to the corner of Stafford and Kellen, and then, as we know, pulled onto Stafford, backed up down Kellen, and let's stop right here. If they went left, even if the license plate readers were not working, they would have gotten caught on the cameras at Shackle Island Volunteer Fire Department. If they went right, Burns Day School Preschool should have captured them as well. Shackle Island Church of Christ should have captured them. So why didn't we have a vehicle description? Why didn't we have a vehicle description on the Amber Alert? We know they were watching it. We know they said it was a dark sedan. The county commissioner told some of my sources, a source. So why didn't they put that vehicle description up on the Amber Alert? Right? I still find that really befuddling. Why not put that out there? If your license plate readers were down, put it out there. Even if they weren't down, put it out there. It's an Amber Alert, child. And if you have a vehicle description, you're supposed to include it along with a suspect description. Why was it never mentioned there's a car? Why was the public not asked to identify the vehicle? Do you want my opinion? Because they knew exactly who it belonged to. That's my opinion. Otherwise, it would have been on the Amber Alert. They would have gotten images from the cameras and showed it to the public and said, do you know who drives this car? Help us identify it. Hi, Starlito. Hi, his eyes. It makes no sense. TBI puts out the Amber Alerts for all of Tennessee. TBI created the criteria. And then what happens is Sumner County would go to TBI asking for a Amber Alert, giving their reasonings, their evidence behind an Amber Alert, TBI reviews it and determines whether or not to activate it. They agreed to activate it. So Sumner County, they would have asked for it. TBI would have activated it. Hi, Poppy Love. It's just shocking. All of it's shocking, in my opinion. So when I'm showing you this map, which I hope you all still have up, it also ties into KP as far as her search. Let's go to her coming through the high school. Let me show it to you here. Let me just put the high school down again. Okay. So when KP went to the high school to search, right? She would have gone up down Long Hollow Pike and up here. Now, she said she was searching, but that was her story allegedly in the beginning for a year. But when she did the Dateline Digital, as soon as I arrived, I was told to turn around. Well, doesn't that just suit the story? If the cameras didn't see her searching, but saw her drive in and drive out, and look at where she would end up, right near Beach Market, right near the storage unit. And allegedly, that's where Mama Socks was waiting. And this was before dispatch. KP was up there before this dispatch because she said she jumped in her car and went to the high school and called Chris. One story, that's one story. The other story is she had already called him. But what did they do over there for 20 to 30 minutes? Why did a cadaver dog hit on Unit 10 numerous times? We have eyewitnesses, but the handler said, oh, they're hitting on dead mice. Well, cadaver dogs do not just hit on dead mice. They differentiate based on decomposition smell that the bodies exhume. I don't buy that answer. So we have no vehicle description. We have a cadaver dog hitting on Unit 10. By the way, one of them allegedly has a unit there from the family. We saw Step Socks with her little wagon full of Christmas stuff at the unit. It's alarming. A mattress pad's found there, a box. Some people told me a KNIFE was found there as well. I mean, it's alarming, and they never got the footage, and that is in their 4.5 mile radius. But does it alarm you when they didn't even go get the Texas Roadhouse footage? And now we're building $1 million homes. $1 million homes. I mean, Brandon Carter, his home is worth like $800,000, y'all. Okay. I am not buying what they are feeding us at all. Now I'm going to go back to let me get back to my share this tab instead. So he has built a home. And make sure you have where I'm at. Craddock has built a home. He's neighbors with the Step Socks. And they are 3.5 miles from each other in a neighborhood called Bledsoe. I'm trying to find out if Second Home Generations built that. They say there's no information, but that's what they said about the cemetery when I found it. And I just had to keep digging. And then I found out who had built in Enoch Way in that subdivision. And indeed, it was Second Generation who owns the property between the secret cemetery, Shiloh, and the houses. And by the way, that is right near where the glasses fell off. Or not fell off, excuse me. Let me rephrase that. That is right near where the glasses were found, a few houses away from the Step Socks home. On the corner. So if anyone was walking through the backyards towards the secret cemetery, they would have passed the house where the glasses were found. If anyone was walking from the Step Socks backyard to the silos, they would have walked right by where the glasses were found. I say that because if anyone was carrying a struggling child, allegedly not accusing, from their backyards to the secret cemetery area, they would have passed by the home, and maybe in a struggle, the glasses fell off, allegedly not accusing anyone. If anyone were carrying a struggling child to the silos that are there in that area, they would have passed by, and maybe the glasses fell off, but they would have passed by right where the glasses were found. The glasses were never checked via prescription to make sure they were Sebastian's. Seth said they were too close for him to make a judgment. He asked for them to be tagged and bagged, we've heard him tell. And so where did they get the verification? And please, God, don't tell me it was word of mouth from mother. Excuse me for saying that, but she has not been cleared, and she was the last one with Sebastian in a locked house at night, in a locked house in the morning, with the only other individuals who can access that home is Grandma Stepsocks, Melissa, Chris Proudfoot's sister, Sebastian, Chris, and Katie, and the house cleaner. So Katie's basically pointing a finger. If she's claiming her complete image, innocence, lack of knowledge, in my opinion, she's pointing a finger that way, because it doesn't, when they say no breaking and entering, when they say no signs of breaking and entering, no evidence he ever left that home, no scent trail leaving the home. KP says, well, it wasn't me. I was just in the house. Hi, One Law. It wasn't me. Was in the house. Hi, Wendy. Hi, T-Bird. Well, then, who are the other people who can access the home when it's locked and relock it? It wasn't Sebastian. They don't have him on camera. Who was in the house? Do they have anyone entering the home? No. It makes no sense. Then Brandon Carter's FBI update, he says Katie and Sebastian got home and no other cars went to or from the property on 1008. Well, that's not what we asked. Right? Did she leave through the back door? Was she carrying something through the ditch? Did she meet a sedan at 3 a.m. with her bedroom lights on and her Apple Watch, allegedly the heart rate raising? I don't know. But none of it makes sense. No one is talking about Sebastian. No sheriff is talking about Sebastian. He is not doing press conferences on Sebastian. We heard Seth say that he said he doesn't care. He's not doing anymore. He doesn't care what the public thinks, what Seth thinks, or what his constituents think. But yet, he's going to get reelected. Make it make sense. Let's go back to this slideshow here. See if there's anything. This is the property again. Let's see if here's the value now that he put his 40,125 square foot home there. Property value $1,049,011, higher than the average person has out there. The ground floor is 2,704 square feet. He's got his own private creek. It's only a year old, remodeled in 2024. He bought the land in 2020. And I just put the auction company down because we have a local who's going to check into that, because there was an auction company. Was that auction properly posted? I hope so. And at the time in 2020, it was about $39,000 for an acre. Well, that would have been about more than $500,000, not $167,000, which makes me think it was purchased at auction. I'd love to search. Actually, I might spend some time this afternoon searching for those auction dates to see if we can get those back dates. Berry Lane in Gallatin is where the home is. He is 3 miles from Dirty Socks, allegedly, in Bledsoe neighborhood, the same name of the school. they wanted to put Sebastian in without researching, or researched and decided he could just go in a place where they humiliated and beat kids, allegedly. I don't know. But as much as KP knows exactly where her easement is and who owns it and this and that, my gosh, that kind of research is, she took time to do that research. I sure as hope she would have researched a school she was going to send her beloved only child to. It's unbelievable, my friends. T-Bird, what stirring's going on? What's happening? I will check it. Oh, let me check my email real quick. I have something that I might need to look at and share with you guys. Hold on. Yes. Yes. Gina, I'm guessing it was at auction based on the price. I mean, it was worth over $500,000 and he got it for 167. So and then the auction company, what was the name of the company that I posted for you? The auction company was also listed as one of the realtors. Let me go back to your email and make sure I just answered that. Yes. Yes. Jean Carmen was the company, auction company. Yes. Faith Church is, let me look where Faith Church is. Let's find Faith Church as opposed to the area. Hold on one second. Let me pull it up. It's Freedom Church, right? Freedom Church. Let's put it in here. 1 second. I'll be right there. Guess what? Oh, there we go. Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to pull it up for you. Okay, let me share this tab with you. Here's where Freedom Church is. Now, my not being familiar with the area, give me a second. I'm looking to see if we can see Hartsville Pike out here. There's Long Hollow Pike. Let me Google it real quick how far they are apart. Freedom Church is 7 miles from Craddock's new home, but he does not attend church there. He attends church at Long Hollow Pike Church, but it is in the area. It's about 7 miles away between Freedom Church, Berry Lane. Someone's asking in the chat, the guy that was hugging Seth at the vigil in the church, was he a sheriff or a deputy? If so, where did he go? Yes, the sign for the church was seen in Portland, Tennessee. Remember, we watched the video, and I don't remember the name of her channel. I only know her first name, Sassy. She was a mod of ours, and she went out there and she filmed it. It was a great film, and there was a sign in Portland, Tennessee for Freedom Church. Now, they're all in this little area. And don't forget, Freedom is where there's a pastor. He was a youth pastor, used to have videos with him hanging out with kids, doing all these things. Those are taken down now. He also had himself with the pastor who was a little controversial. Those are taken down. And now apparently he's a pastor, but he's a YouTuber, true crimer, and doesn't mention Sebastian's case. His name is Tyler. Lots of crazy stuff going on out there, my friends. There is things that just don't make sense. So if we go here and we say Berry Lane's in Gallatin, it's in the Bledsoe neighborhood. It's a residential area within Gallatin. It's in Sumner County. It's known for its suburban feel and its proximity to Nashville. So I will be looking up the builder. I will be doing a little bit more research on that. If there was an auction in April when he bought it, April of 2020, and I will bring it to you. So hit that notification bell, subscribe to the channel if you have not. And then I want to ask you all, we're going to end with one of Seashore Annie's songs because she does such a great job with her songs. So please, I will put her link. I will put her link right now in my chat. I hope you will sub up to her channel. There it is. It is Seashore Annie. Let me just put it up here in the comments. I agree, Daffy Dog. I agree. Someone's thinking a certain YouTuber might have been paid off, and it sounds like it, in my opinion. I mean, I can't even understand how some of this is going on, right? It's just one big fancy, in my opinion, ring. And I'm not talking about a gold ring like Mama Socks wanted. This is credit to Seashore Annie. She's got a beautiful playlist for Sebastian. If you have not, blessings. Thank you so much for 10 months. I didn't say thank you for that part. 10 months of your support. And Starlito is a new member. We're back to our Saturdays. We did one Saturday if you want to go see and watch it. Thank you. And everyone, welcome Starlito in to the membership. We are going to end with, I thought I just put it up there. I'm sorry. Seashore Annie song. They're beautiful. And this one talks to Tennessee, which I think is very important right now based on the things we've just discovered. Hi, Meow. Credit to Seashore Annie. Oh, wait. There was something else I wanted to share with you before we end. This is a video where, and it's going to be credit to the channel Kari, Kari. This was sent to me by one of my wonderful, wonderful subscribers, and they gave me a timestamp to look at it. And it was talking about Delphi, but transfers into, mentions Tennessee, and they're talking about corruption and things. So I'm going to play this for us before the song. Okay. I do want to do that. It's going to be about 5-10 minutes, but listen to it. Maybe even less I'll play, but let's listen to this. Credit to Kari. I think I just put that up. Let me make sure I've got her name in there. I do. Okay. Thank you to the subscriber who sent me. Thank you so much to the subscriber who sent me the timestamps. I so appreciate that. And Let Them 66, thank you for the super sticker. $1.49. That is very kind of you and thoughtful and generous and much appreciated. Thank you so much. Without further ado, listen to this a little bit because he transitions into Tennessee.
Yeah, and then
Well,
from there, it all
yeah.
trickles down. It all trickles down to
Yeah.
very 3D matrix kind of like cartel thing, you know, and they keep people quiet with blackmail and all of this. So who did it exactly? We're never going to know. That's what pisses me off the most.
But you can get who's responsible, and I think the local officials. So we both agree, right? So I think that there's it's usually run through political PACs. So there's the big one was that went national was Act Blue, who they were working with cartel money, and I think it was Bank of Canada or TD Bank was laundering the money offshore or in Canada, really. Through fraudulent mortgages. But there's a couple PACs that are Republican in Tennessee and in Indiana that were doing the exact same thing. So it's a business model.
Yeah.
There's a business model that they find. And so they make the money with drugs and trafficking on the ground. That money gets sent overseas to a bank that will take it.
Right.
It gets put into fraudulent mortgages. And so your county assessor is typically like,
who did it exactly? We're never
to a bank that will doing the exact same thing. So it's a business model.
Yeah.
There's a business model that they find. And so they make the money with drugs and trafficking on the ground. That money gets sent overseas to a bank that will take it.
Right.
It gets put into fraudulent mortgages. And so your county assessor is typically like the people that these guys are going after. Well, this guy, Sean Taylor, this cop, they're going after these county assessors because they're the ones who see these fraudulent mortgages and okay them. So like when you find a county assessor that eventually becomes the mayor and then the governor, right? So, and then you find these mortgages like on a house that's just insane. So what interested me about the Patties was you have somebody who does assessments for properties, right? And so it's like if I was theorizing, I would say like, there's some kind of financial network. There was some kind of takeover of a cartel, like somebody, it was like a hostile takeover. Right. But who knows,
I think that's close. I mean, it seems
but you think it's a more spiritual kind of
in the end,
okay.
in the end, because I do think that, okay, so I think at the top of all of this, it's really, it's the Illuminati.
Wow.
It really is. Yeah, it's like dark forces, like it's the reptilians.
So when you say Illuminati, you're just saying like generally, kind of like when I say feds, it's just general feds. So when you say Illuminati, do you mean the actual?
Do you really want to know? I do think that there are. I'm not ready to talk about this yet, guys.
So Josh Ward died in a fire in Clovis, New Mexico. Right? There was something that was very sophisticated about the murder, right?
When I say Illuminati, I'm just mean a dark force.
Yeah.
Behind. Does that make sense, or do I sound crazy?
Yeah, I just.
Everybody's like,
when the girls like, what's very intriguing to me. One of the reasons I like talking to cryptics.
So the reason I brought that forth is, you had no sound? I'm so sorry, you all. My goodness, I don't know why it's not giving us sound today. Hold on. Let me see what's going on. Why is that not giving you sound? Let me remove him. Let me add it. Let me share this screen.
Trickles down to very 3D matrix kind of like cartel thing,
Is that better?
And they keep people quiet with blackmail and all of this. So who did it exactly? We're never going to know. That's what pisses me off the most.
But you can get who's responsible, and I think the local officials. So we both agree, right? So I think that there's it's usually run through political PACs. So there's the big one was that went national was Act Blue, who they were, they were working with cartel money, and I think it was Bank of Canada or TD Bank was laundering the money offshore or in Canada, really, through fraudulent mortgages. But there's a couple PACs that are Republican in Tennessee and in Indiana that were doing the exact same thing. So it's a business model.
Yeah.
There's a business model that they find. And so they make the money with drugs and trafficking on the ground. That money gets sent overseas to a bank that will take it.
Right.
It gets put into fraudulent mortgages. And so your county assessor is typically like the people that these guys are going after. Well, this guy, Sean Taylor, this cop, they're going after these county assessors because they're the ones who see these fraudulent mortgages and okay them. So like when you find a county assessor that eventually becomes the mayor and then the governor, right? So, and then you find these mortgages like on a house that's just insane. So what interested me about the Patties was you have some,
and you find mortgages on these houses. That's insane. One of the things I pulled up is Craddock's last assessment was $99, something like that. So you explain that to me, math people, because I'm English language arts. It is a business model. So the D rings, the ST rings, the housing, they ship all this money, they ship overseas. It comes, the county assessor, if you recall, my friends, whenever we pull up houses, it seems like certain names go off of ownership, etc. Remember? And so that's that comptroller also, who locals have told me, how do I say it? Allegedly, in their opinion, is dirty as well. Lots of dirt, my friends. And he even brings Tennessee into it. And it is a business model. I'm so glad you all enjoyed the live last night. Yes, Charles is a hoot. You are absolutely correct. He was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun backstage too. And it is not going to be our last, but our first, because we didn't cover, hi Blue Nick, we didn't cover everything. Hey Daffy Dog, Karen Powers. We didn't get to cover everything we wanted. It was great to meet Julie Grant. She's now following me on X. And we're going to meet up at CrimeCon, and I will get to meet her personally. And I'm hoping, Charles said last night when we were backstage that he's going to try, his manager asked me about it. He's going to try and come to CrimeCon too. And he said, we're going to go eat some ribs. So it was just a lot of fun. Nick did a great job coordinating all of it. And it was a great panel, Mr. E on there as well. It just was a wonderful panel, a lot of information. I would love to shake his hand too. You know, he lived right near him. And let's tie that to Sebastian. He could have ignored the waving hand through the screen door. He could have ignored it because he knew Ariel Castro. He knew him well. Instead, he took action. He didn't care that he knew the neighbor. He didn't care that he knew the neighbor. I just repeat that for a reason. Okay? And it just goes to show, Sumner County, please, hi Coley, if you know something, it's time to say something before they put you on the stand under oath. And I'm talking county commissioners right to you right now. You say it has to go out of Sumner County to be solved, then you know what's going on in Sumner County and you have knowledge, in my opinion. And if it were your child, you would have made sure and gotten it out of Sumner County. So I think you should be, as a person holding a seat in that town who voted not to have term limits recently and not to let the people voice in your meetings, you shut the people down and you sat yourselves in that chairs as long as you want for as many terms. Well, now Get yourselves up out of those chairs and move it out of Sumner County and find Sebastian and tell the world why it has to leave Sumner County to be solved. That is a very alarming statement, but it happened. I have people who told me. Okay? Disgusting. And if it were your child, you'd already have it out of Sumner County. When Sebastian turns 18 years old, the marshals will no longer be eligible to look for Sebastian. They recently found 121 kids in Florida. It was called Operation Home for the Holidays. But yet they're not called in here because, in my opinion, it is a business model. Sean Taylor's on to something. Don't care if you're a neighbor. I had one neighbor say to me, well, I can't report that because it was a private conversation. I don't care. If it's a child's life, you don't protect your friend in a private conversation, you speak up. I asked Charles, and I don't know if I asked him this in front of you all or if this was backstage, but I said to him, what would you say to neighbors who know something in a missing child case but aren't speaking up? And he said, how can you live with yourself? Hi, JH. Aloha, my friend. Let's pray. Big Eyes are on the case. Hopefully Big Eyes will get involved. Hopefully these county commissioners, before we start having to release names, which I keep saying, it's coming, TikTok, hopefully they'll start doing the right thing without being pushed there. And anyone else who knows something. There's neighbors who've been whispered things. There's so much, and they just don't want to say anything because those are my friends. Well, I'm sorry. If Charles Manson had been my friend, I still would have turned him in. You are who you lay with. And when you lay with dirty, you get dirty. And then it's going to be a whole lot worse under oath in front of the whole world, telling them day one, this was said. Day two, this was said. Day one, they watched this. Day one, they watched a sedan come in. All of it. Imagine having to do that under oath instead of on your own because you're a good human. You have to be dragged there and sat in a stand to talk for a child. It's disgusting. When Charles threw up his book when you told him KP worked for security, but no security took me out. Oh, he is funny. Yes. That was funny. I wasn't sure if that was on the show or backstage. Yes. He's hilarious. He couldn't even believe it. Could not even believe it. When you lay down with dogs, you wake up with fleas. And when you lay down with dogs, your silence, you become a dog. Now, if you're a stand-up person and says, I'm not going to do this anymore because if this were my child, any child should matter, I'm going to let them know what we were watching day one. And a TBI agent saying where he is, he's not coming back from day one. Well, to me, that makes it sound like you know where he is or you know what happened. Speak up, buddy boy. Speak up, please. And when you got a neighbor who's inserted himself driving around in the mornings, it's on dispatch, he's with them. He's at the first vigil in the neighborhood saying it's so bad, tears up and leaves. He's at the command post watching the footage and has an alleged friendship, buddy with KP. You better speak up too. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. They're all, in my opinion, one big golden ring that isn't golden, but is mud, dirt, and poop, in my opinion. Cowards of the county, you got it. Cowards. But the thing of it is, if this goes and we start saying who said what, they're all going to be on the stand and everyone's going to have to watch and listen to their answer as to why they didn't speak up day one for this child. Why they sat there saying, well, that wasn't my conversation to tell. Just wait. So they'll be under oath one day, and we will be watching. I would love for him to run to sheriff. You know what I told him? I believe this was backstage. You guys didn't hear it. I told him I'd love to have you in Hendersonville for a month just so they knew you were there. Right? Just so they knew you were there. And we were talking about going out there, and I said, I wouldn't go out there without a bodyguard. And he said, I'll be your bodyguard. So we don't know. Maybe we will end up heading out to Hendersonville. But what I will tell you is this. I think just his presence there would scare the bejeebers out of Littlefoot. Because Littlefoot's not, he's brave around women and children, in my opinion. But what about a hero who's already rescued kids? You know, one thing that, it's a lot. Yes, I know he does, T-Bird. Someone's saying CP hangs with Brandon and Carter. Yes, he has told the whole world that by calling them by their first names. And Bobby from TBI. So Chris Proudfoot let the whole world know he had relationships with the law enforcement who are on the case. We are going to end with Seashore Annie now. Beautiful song. I will be on back later for Summer and Sebastian, or either or, depending on what. I'm going to do some research now that I'm done with the documentary. I have a little research to do on what happened in Summer's case in the last couple of days. I do have some more things to bring you forth, more so than the $1 million home the sheriff's in, more so that his new neighbors, he's 3 miles from the dirty socks, in my opinion. Well, not my opinion. It's true. And I find it really interesting. The name of the neighborhood is Bledsoe. So I will be digging to find out who that developer was. And I won't be shocked if it is who I alleged think it is. Yep, he said he was with him to the PI. Yepers. He has no problem letting everyone know his relationships. And what he doesn't know is that's going to bite him in the you-know-what. And as far as Charles goes, you all, that's not the last of him. We are going to continue the panel. We really liked the panel. We will be continuing, as Nick told you when he ended the show yesterday. And we are going to continue on because it was the beginning of bringing forth hope. Never give up hope. No child should be, their fate should never be measured by the amount of time they're gone. The Cleveland Three were gone over a decade. J.C. Dugard, 18 years. Kids are found, people are found. No one should be resorted to a statistic or time. And another thing we have to remember is just because time goes on, it doesn't measure distance. It doesn't mean they're far away. They were 3 miles from where they were taken for over a decade. Did you know Gina De Jesus's father was standing 40 feet from her home talking to the neighbors? And no one knew she was in there. This is credit to our friend of the channel. Please go over and subscribe. I'll drop the link again. This is Seashore Annie. She writes songs for Sebastian, and they are just absolutely gorgeous, beautiful songs. I'm dropping the link now. Please go over and subscribe to her channel. And Bliss just said, Culver's in Clarksville is having an event at their location for Sebastian's 17th birthday. I did not know that, Bliss, and thank you for letting me know that. Clarksville is where Seth is from in Tennessee, so most likely Seth coordinated that. Did Seth coordinate that? He's such a great father. This is the link to Seashore Annie's channel. Please, please go over and sub up to her after this. Hit your notification bell, and if you haven't subbed to the channel, please do so. I will be bringing you updates as they come in on Sebastian, Summer, and our other true crime cases, Anna Kepner on the cruise. I'll be doing my research for a few hours before I'm back on tonight because I know I've got a few things to catch up on. So without further ado, this is, let me find Seashore Annie. Let me put her name back up there. I took it down. Okay, let me play it. You hear?
Who's lurking in the dark? Who's creeping in your yard? Who forgets what they have said? Whose life is now lived in dread? Who can't remember where he was that night? Whose arms look like he'd been in a fight? Who was stopping searchers looking for your son? Whose whole life is about to come undone? It is Tennessee, it's 2025. Where is Sebastian? Is he alive? Who carried him across the grass? Oh Lord, the truth is coming to tidy up this mess. Where is this dear boy who we all love? Have faith in our God. He saw all from above. Don't think for one moment the truth won't be resurrected. Oh, the truth is coming, that you can be sure. Keep talking, keep lying, keep leaking some more. You lied to the judge, a lady was arrested. Every word will be dismantled, it will all be contested. No one was looking for dear Sebastian, all because of your cheap distraction. Lord above, please make this right. It was an infraction, please do it tonight. 25. Where is Sebastian? Is he alive? Who carried him across the grass? Oh Lord, the truth is coming to tidy up this mess. Where is this dear boy we all love? Have faith in our God. He saw all from above. Justice for Sebastian now draws oh so near. The truth and nothing but the truth is what we want to hear. Do you hear us, Sumner County? The truth we demand. Put the guilty on the stand. Let the hand of justice reign. Bring Sebastian home again.
Beautiful song. Hi, Coley. Hey, Mrs. Nobody. Karina the Dreamer. Love the name. Anyone coming in that I did not personally greet, I want you to know how much I appreciate you being here. Part of Sebastian's Army, supporting the channel, supporting the children. If I didn't greet you personally, I've tried to get as many of you as I can. Hi, Sandy, Mimi, Ma, and anyone else coming in. Please know. Poppy Love says, Crime Time Buzz, please see my questions if you can. After on your own is fine. I just had some questions. Let me go back and look, Poppy, real quick. I can find them for you. I can do it right now. Hi, Becky. I can do it right now. Poppy Love says, hi, Jay. I'm looking. What a great song. Love Seashore Annie. Okay, here's one. If Yellow Jacket is same person as attorney in Pennsylvania, are you talking about RB? That attorney is also on board of a children's home allegedly. Has that look-alike been checked out, found not to be involved? Actually, if you are talking about RB, I am working on it. And I'll be honest, I had put it aside for a while, but I'm going to jump back into that. I know her songs are amazing. You all, thank you for being here today. I will be back on later. Let me get a few hours of research in. It'll be Summer, Sebastian, or both. And please, let's bring them all home. Let's bring the kids home. Let's clean up Tennessee. And let's stop the generational corruption that allegedly is there. Thank you all for being here. Hit your thumbs up on the way out. Sub up if you have not, and hit that notification bell so you do not miss any of the updates. Bless you all. Have a happy Thanksgiving week, and I will see you later today. Thank you so much for being here. Do you have the photos we can screenshot? They are beautiful. Oh, you mean these? Hold on. Let me go back. I do not. But if you want to take a screenshot right now, let me see if we can get to the beginning where you can take a quick screenshot right there. I can take those down, but I do not have the photos, but she's just done such a beautiful job. Go listen to the entire playlist. She's got gorgeous songs. Some of them I play for you, but one of my favorites I didn't play today. This is one of my favorites. They all are, but I have a favorite too. I'll play for you next time. Thank you all for being here. I will see you a little bit later. Talk soon. And mods, thank you for taking care of the chat so I don't have to worry about it. Everyone, good to see you. Talk soon. Justice for Sebastian. Let's bring him home.